Right, just try Pelican Lane. Not the address itself.
All right.
Again, look for disturbances, odd complaints, noises.
Missing girls.
Hmm?
There's an article here about a missing girl.
What does it say?
The headline reads, Amanda Cummings found.
Amanda Cummings? Where?
Amanda Cummings, reported missing since July 17th, was found walking north of the city in the Pelican Lane area. Local authorities say she refused to talk. Police report filed.
This July?
No, this newspaper is dated almost 10 years ago.
What? How? Hold on. Wait a minute. It's Cummings. That's the same as Roland Cummings, the PI who owned our apartment first, the one that Ackerman meant to send the book to.
Police chose not to speculate, but heavily implied she was held captive. Was found with another girl who was unnamed.
A second girl?
Yes, it seems like 2 girls were found. One, Amanda Cummings, has been reported missing. The other, no identification, no name given. They just say that she was an immigrant of some sort.
Does it say anything else?
Nothing pertinent.
It mentioned a police report, yes?
It did.
Well, anything additional would most certainly be in the police records. They're sealed, but we may be able to buy our way in.
So, as I understand it, the book was sent to the father of this missing girl?
I mean, we'd have to verify it, but either that's a remarkable coincidence, or...
I don't think any of this is a coincidence, Arthur.
What does it all mean now?
Well, we are making assumptions. At least some. Like Emily took the book from the abandoned house.
Right, but the facts that we know are this. That 2 girls were found wandering the streets near the abandoned house. They refused to talk to the authorities and the press. Years later, a book is presumably taken from that same house, and after the person who took it dies, it's sent to the father of one of these 2 girls, or at least who Ackerman thought was the father.
It's starting to make a story, but I don't know what it means.
Maybe some context will help. Reading that police report is an important step.
Reading this book from Mr. Armitage is as well.
Yes.
I suggest we find where this Cummings girl lived, find out more about her and her parents. This is no longer a coincidence. Following up on Cummings could reveal who the other girl was, where Roland went to, and how Ackerman knew him. It tells us more about the book as well.
I suppose you're right. We should try to stay away from police in any case. It's clear that Amanda was missing, and with a connection to J.D. Ackerman that her father had.
It's a place to start for sure. How do you plan on going about finding her?
I could check the telephone book, but...
But what?
Well, not only could it be a common name, I gather she won't be easy to find.
Why do you think that?
Well, based on the article's implication and how and where she was found, I'm making the educated guess that she was a captive in that household.
It would stand to reason. After all, you mentioned previous that Roland Cummings had supposedly abandoned his lease because he had to leave town.
Right. Unless her captors were all killed, I imagine they would pursue.
Well, then how do you suppose we find her?
Well, I do remember a few old files I put away in the basement storage at the office. Personal mail, things like that. I assume his address would be there.
What makes you think they're still at the address?
I don't. It's a start. We can ask neighbors, see if there's anyone around that knew him.
Well then. There's something I've been thinking about.
Well, let's hear it.
The abandoned house looked untouched. Why do you suppose the house was never searched after Amanda Cummings showed up? Don't you think she would have led the police to it?
I've been wondering that myself.
Perhaps her father knew something. Oh, stop. Curb is right before you. Wave down this taxi.
"13 Mosby Avenue.
Presumably this girl was taken by the cult. 10 years later, her father has sent a book of that same cult.
Well, it could be something he began to dive into after she was returned, something he tried to uncover as she told him things about her.
Perhaps. Perhaps she was taken because he began diving too deeply into the cult.
You think her kidnapping could have been a response to Roland getting too close to something?
It could be. Maybe he got the message and dropped it altogether. That place was, after all, abandoned.
There's a lot of assumptions here.
Yes, well, let's just start with what hard evidence there is. Let's find and speak with Amanda Cummings and get her word on all of this. Looks like we're near your office.
What?
Arthur, there are police outside the building.
Hold, what they do?
They're wheeling out a body, Arthur.
Oh, fuck. Damn shit, fuck.
Well put.
Fuck. What do you do?
We calm down.
How can we calm down? They've just found my partner. They found his body. Oh, fuck.
They haven't found you. Compose yourself, Arthur.
I don't know if I can.
Look, is there another way into this building other than the front?
Are you mad? We're not going in there. We have to find...
Arthur! All this has done is put a timeline on us. If we are to find the Cummings girl, then we need to find her quickly. There is nothing to say that they are looking for you. For all they know, someone broke into your apartment and killed your partner.
But
you are an investigator. You make enemies.
No, there's no way.
Yes, there is. Now get out of this taxi. The man is starting to look at you strangely. Pay him and step out. Now listen, Arthur. There is one uniformed officer outside the building, leaning on an automobile. He's looking down the street. This is no Manhunt.
There are no more police? They're just...
No. I'd imagine that they've only just found him, which means they are either combing your office or have sent for backup. Either way, the time to act is now. Is there another way into the basement?
Yes, there is. An alleyway. It has a side entrance. It leads directly to the basement storage.
Excellent.
No, but...
Then all you have to do is sneak past the officer outside and move quickly.
No. Listen, no.
You listen! Everything boils down to Cummings right now. You said it yourself. Old files may be the only link we have to finding their last known address aside from the police station. Since that is the last place we want to be right now, this is our only choice. Now cross that street and do what I say. Good. You're almost at the curb. Good. Stop! Wait! Don't move.
Should I crouch or...
Just take a half step back.
Okay.
Now...
I am tired of being a hostage, and I am frustrated, and I am unsure of what to do next. That is why I'm going to sit here on this fucking porch.
Everything all right there, friend?
Seems like you've drawn the attention of a neighbor.
Yes, sorry, just,
He's talking to you from the porch next door.
Just was looking for an old family friend. I thought they lived here. Cummings family, yeah?
Yes.
I'm sorry, friend, they passed on a number of years ago. Terrible thing that happened.
Ask him.
Oh, why was that?
Oh, people started wondering where the family went. People called. They ended up heading inside the house, found the missus.
Well, what on earth happened to her?
Oh, it's not proper, but let's just say they found her in the basement, in the freezer.
And the husband?
Now, Mr. Rowland never came back. Assumed he did it. Some say he went up to Canada. Never seemed the type to hurt, though.
The daughter?
Oh, dangerous thing. She showed up a few weeks later. Poor girl, both parents gone. Now, she ended up living with some family.
Where?
Where is she now?
Harper's Hill, small town a few hours north of here.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Were you close?
Very.
You see her, give her my best.
Well, Arthur, still ready to give up?
If we can't find you a new body,
Arthur.
or we can't find a way,
Arthur! Listen to me. There is no sense in worrying about that now. We need to stay focused. Right now we have the Cummings girl. We need to follow up on her and find out what she knows. She clearly has a connection to this case.
that is easy for you to say. I'm losing pieces of myself. My hand is gone. My eyes are gone. I don't know what's next to leave. For all I know, if you take my mind entirely, I'll no longer be able to think. What is our plan here?
I don't know, but Amanda Cummings and what has happened to us is on the back burner. There is something much bigger going on.
What do you mean?
Arthur, something more powerful is at play here.
And we are its pawns.
Yes.
It's clear to me that what is happening to you and me, while important, doesn't have an answer right now. I don't want to waste any more time thinking about the Cummings girl or why this befell me. At least not now. Right now, we need to focus on the task at hand and singularly devote our attention to this problem. Otherwise,
the child will die.
perhaps not only her.
There's a truck pulling up to the diner. It looks like a man getting out. He's left his engine on.
Why?
He's pulling the case out of the back of his flatbed. It looks like he's delivering something.
Oh, right.
Arthur, his flatbed is empty, and the truck says Crawford Farm, Harper's Hill.
Amanda Cummings lives in Harper's Hill. Kellen.
She came to me. Did you know that?
Who?
She asked for my help.
Why did she do that?
'Cause she knew I heard them too.
The voices?
Yes. Only
Only what?
hers weren't like mine.
Kellen,
We had to shut her up. They keep telling me to check on her. But I don't want to.
You don't have to.
You told me to listen. I'm listening.
Arthur, he's reaching down to something by his feet. There's a chain. It's leading off the dock and into the water. He's begun pulling it up.
What?
I don't know, Arthur. The chain is wet and covered in algae. It's fairly long. Wait. He's pulled up something. It looks like a bird cage, but there's something inside.
Huh?
Arthur, he has a human head in the cage.
Jesus fucking Christ!
Waterlogged and thick with rot.
What the fuck? Kellen, what the fuck is going on?
I'm sorry I ignored you for so long.
Arthur, he's talking to it.
What do you need to tell me?
Why were you on the boat? I was escaping someone. Who? The man who was trying to kill me. Where were you going? Harper's Hill. It's... For what? for answers. Jesus, Arthur, I need more than this. Who are you going to get answers from? A girl named Amanda Cummings. She... Wait.
Amanda Cummings.
Wait, did I tell you my name?
Thank you, Arthur.
Wait, what?
Sleep well. What happened?
Something is wrong. When I was unconscious, I was in another world, but
Arthur, just relax.
it was like a dream. Everything was real. I could touch it, and I could feel it. We need to find Amanda Cummings. We need to find her as soon as possible. Before someone else does.
Who is looking for her?
Adam, this man, or this thing. I think he was trying to get information from me.
Arthur.
We need to move. God, I feel so...
Arthur.
What?
We've been in a coma for over a month.
When I passed out on the boat, I awoke in a hospital. Not like this one. It was a place for insane people, an asylum.
A dream?
No, I don't think so. There was a man there. I couldn't see him. I can only talk to him through the vent in the wall, but he sort of befriended me. He wanted information.
What information?
He wanted to know why we were coming to Harper's Hill.
This is why you said Amanda Cummings.
Yes. Well, something is very wrong there. The walls, they felt off, and almost like flesh. The door seemed, it was in an odd shape. The guards were otherworldly.
You said we need to find Amanda as soon as possible. Before someone else does?
Yes, this man, if he was a man, this Adam Fry, he seemed to only need me for her name. We need to get...
Arthur, relax. You haven't walked in months.
I know, but we need to move.
Didn't you hear me? They don't know who you are. They're going to want to know when you wake up.
So then we can't stay here. We need to get out and find Amanda before this Adam does.
Arthur.
No, John, Parker is dead back in Arkham. If they find out who I am, it is likely that they will at least take me in for questioning, not to mention everything that happened at Kellen's.
Why do you think this Adam Fry is after Amanda?
I don't know. I just... He seems to have all he needed at her name. Just, I don't know, call it instinct.
All right, well, let's take a second and go over our path that led us here. After all, it's been a month of sitting here for me. Could use a refresher.
Right. Well, it's still fresh in my mind, so...
So, at the bookstore, J.D. Ackerman, the owner, was not there, but we did find an index card for one Roland Cummings that had our address on it, leading us to believe
that he meant to send our book, to someone else. A man named Roland.
Right. Then we went to the house,
where we found the symbol in the cavernous basement, in which we found corpses and a ritualistic altar. To you, it looked like a gateway.
When we looked at the newspaper records about the house, we found that 2 girls were seen wandering from the house, and one of them was Amanda Cummings.
Roland's daughter.
A connection too strong to mistake as coincidence.
And the other girl?
We have no idea about. Hopefully Amanda can shed some light on it.
Right. Then...
When we went to the Cummings' last known address, a neighbor told us that she moved up to Harper's Hill.
With some family.
So the neighbor says.
So, Amanda should be able to tell us what happened at the house, which should give us insight into the symbol, where you came from, her father. Really, she is the missing piece of this puzzle.
So, assuming we can get out of here quietly, what's the next step?
We find Amanda.
How?
Well, actually, we might be in the best place for that.
Why?
Well, she's lived in Harper's Hill, at least for a few years now. Possible they would have a record of her here, or even more likely that they would have an address.
Well then, a records room?
Exactly.
So when we find Amanda, what then?
What do you mean?
Do you tell her what's going on, or do you play coy? We both know how bad you are at lying.
Right, well, I suppose we play it by ear. Maybe honesty is the best policy at this point.
Stop.
What?
The break room. All right. A to C. First cabinet on the right. No. No. There. C. Keep going. Cummings. Stop. There.
Amanda?
Yes. There. The second one.
This one?
Yes. Ah, yes. The address.
What was she last in for?
Wait.
What?
Arthur. This is an autopsy request.
What?
Arthur. She's dead.
How? When?
Just a few days ago.
Fuck!
Look, we have her address. Maybe she's left something.
Is she still in the morgue?
Yes.
We should go.
Why?
Because we can find out how she died. Maybe. I don't know.
I suppose since we're in the hospital anyway.
Couldn't have been an accident.
Do you think that thing, that man you met while dreaming...
I don't know. Yes. Possibly.
Amanda's death...
Couldn't have been an accident.
Do you think that thing, that man you met while dreaming...
I don't know. Yes. Possibly.
There's a set of double doors on your right, down the hall. You'll have to peek in. There are no windows. Looks empty. This is clearly where they store the cadavers. There's a wall of drawers for the bodies.
Do they have...
Names? Yes. Follow the wall. Here, stop. So now what?
I don't know. We came all this way to find Amanda. I suppose we should take a look.
All right.
Well?
You'll have to open it. There's a bag zippered over her face.
Right.
You'll have to open the bag a bit more, Arthur.
Okay.
What the fuck was that?
You heard that too?
Heard. I saw something.
What?
What
do you mean?
You accidentally brushed your knuckles over her skin when you opened the bag.
What?
And when you did, I saw something.
How?
I think maybe the moments leading up to her death. I don't know, Arthur. This isn't...
When I woke up from that world, that dreamland, I felt maybe a bit different, more aware.
That doesn't quite explain what the fuck just happened.
No, it doesn't, but clearly something happened to me, to us. It happened after I woke.
So what? Do not touch her again.
Why? You said that we could see her up to the moment of her death.
Arthur, these are powers beyond our comprehension.
But we have no leads.
We have her house, her diaries, her life. We have plenty of ways to find out more about her.
Or we could touch her and find out exactly how she died.
At what cost?
What do you mean?
Do you think this will leave us unscarred? Arthur, you went to a place while you were in a coma and came back different. Do you not understand that these things carry a heavy toll? Nothing is free. What does seeing this take from us?
I don't know, but if we can see what happened, we need to do it. For Amanda's sake.
For Amanda?
Yes.
Or for your sake, Arthur?
What do you mean?
You feel guilty.
Yes, I suppose so.
Well then, let's get on with it.
Are you ready?
I suppose.
Here we go.
I see Amanda. She's in an apartment, a small bedroom. She's tucking something away. Something. A book. A diary. I don't know, but she's putting it under her mattress. Oh, she's nervously looking at the door. She's walking across the room. There's a man.
What does he look like?
I don't know, Arthur. He has long features, a worn smile, deep lines in his... He's stepping inside. She's frightened. He's reaching out with his hand. His fingers are long and he's... Jesus Christ.
What?
His fingers, they're long and thin, driving themselves into her neck and face, bending into her flesh, forming as one.
What? How?
His hand is sliding into her. It's as if he's devouring her body, absorbing it.
I don't...
Arthur.
What?
He's looking at me. He sees us, Arthur.
How is that possible?
Arthur. Oh, what is that? What is that?
Oh. What the fuck happened?
I don't know, Arthur. It saw me.
How? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know either. I could feel his gaze. Looking through me. Looking through us.
You said it.
I don't know. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't human. He's something else. The way he drove his fingers into Amanda's skin like they were nothing, as if she were made of clay.
Why did all the lights break?
I don't know.
Are there...
Everything's down. The fridge is stopped.
Jesus. Were you her? Were you watching her? Were you looking through her eyes? How did it all look?
It was as if we were watching a scene play out. As if witness to a crime. A third party floating around it. Until his eyes met ours. Arthur, this is bad. It was like stepping through a doorway.
Yes, like my dream was.
Except...
What?
I got the feeling that he couldn't pass through.
Well, that's good.
No, it's not. It's almost as if he wanted us there. As if he wanted us to think he was showing us something.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean?
This didn't feel like we saw something he didn't want us to. It felt like he tricked us.
For what purpose?
I don't know.
You said he couldn't pass through.
No. But he wanted to.
Well, I suppose that's as much as we're going to find out.
Arthur, don't you understand? We fucked up.
How?
That wasn't... He wanted us to touch her. He wanted to see us. He wanted to connect our worlds again.
Why? You said he can't come through. As far as I'm concerned, as long as he's on that side and we're on this side, then we're...
Arthur.
What was that? Where did that come from? Is Amanda still there?
Yes.
He can't come through.
No.
But?
But maybe other things can. Where are we heading?
Up and then out.
Amanda's?
Yes, unless
Unless what?
we don't have a choice. Is it gone?
Yes, I think so.
We need to get out of here.
Yes. Whatever saw us when we touched Amanda's corpse knows we're here, so we need to move.
Where is the way out?
Around the back of the incinerator, I think. So, where to now?
Well, I suppose we should head to Amanda's.
Or
what?
we could stop off somewhere and get you a gun. Arthur, we now know that someone or something is hunting us. We need to be prepared.
When we touched Amanda,
Yes.
you mentioned that you saw her put something under her bed.
A small book of some sort.
You think it's a diary?
I do.
Me too. I can't imagine someone hiding a regular book like that.
Regardless of what it turns out to be, I think we can correctly assume it is not a regular book.
So, why do you think she was killed?
We couldn't even fathom, Arthur.
But couldn't we? That man, that Adam, he wanted to know her name. He knew who we were.
Yes.
That means, at least in my mind, that us reaching her would have helped in some way. Why else have her killed?
Maybe he sought her for the same reason we did.
For answers to the book? No. Besides, he didn't even know her name. Remember, we found out about her by reading a simple news article back in Arkham. If he wanted her for the same reasons we did, couldn't he have followed the same logic?
I don't know.
You don't know what?
I don't know any of this, Arthur. Neither of us do. She could have been killed for any number of reasons.
No, she couldn't have. She was killed for a very specific reason. That's what we need to find out. With her gone, our path forward is obscured. This is not incidental.
How would he have known what we were going to ask her?
Well, that's just it. He couldn't have.
Arthur.
Something happened in that cave.
You were saying something happened in that cave.
Yes, she learned something that killed her.
Why do you assume it was the cave? Why not information on the symbol? Why not...
Well, she was only one of 2 girls that escaped that place. Everyone else was dead, only hidden behind a secret wall. A wall which she told no one about. Why?
Fear?
Fear? Yes, maybe. But she also moved away. Maybe someone was alive when she left. Someone who would have followed her.
She told her neighbor.
What?
She told her neighbor that she was moving away, up to Harper's Hill.
Right.
If you're running away from someone or something who wants to kill you, you typically don't tell people.
Yes, no, you're right. And the killer didn't know her name, so... So she wasn't running away from someone who knew her, or that she was worried about finding her. She didn't tell anybody about the secret cave.
So she wasn't running away. She had information and she wasn't afraid of anyone.
Which means she knew something she didn't realize was dangerous.
She felt safe.
You said she opened the door without fear, without concern.
Then it makes sense.
Well, if she didn't realize she knew dangerous information, it's unlikely we'll find out anything.
And yet he still killed her. Our questions might have shaken something loose. What would you have asked her?
Probably her memory of the night, her friend's name, the symbol...
The symbol on the book that I came from.
Yes, Learning about one of these things might have been important enough for...
Arthur, learning about any of these could have been important. Or maybe this thing just wants to fuck with us. There are too many unanswered questions. We don't know enough. Arthur, I understand why you want to ask these questions. They are important. But as you've demonstrated, having ideas for the sake of ideas can only confuse us sometimes. Yes, we know that Amanda was killed, but we genuinely don't know why.
Theorizing is important, John. The real problem is when we commit these assumptions to certainties, which we're not doing. However, I do think it is safe to assume that she did not realize she possessed dangerous information.
Or she thought that everyone who could hurt her was dead. She seemed frightened at the man, but familiar with him. I wonder if they caught him.
Right. Who did they pin this on? You know?
In my vision, the man was distorted, almost.
How so?
He had odd features, and his fingers seemed to sink into her skin, but it felt very different.
So you think that the man may look different?
No, but what I saw felt like a caricature of reality.
Either way, I like what you're thinking. We should find out who the police think did it, or if they have someone arrested.
You ate quick.
I haven't had solid food in a while.
Let's go then, shall we?
Yes. These questions are important to keep top of mind. We need to think on these so we don't lose sight of what's important.
Head to the right. There are some shops ahead.
So this may be worthwhile to follow up on.
What?
The murderer.
We know who murdered her. It was this Adam.
No, as you just said, we don't know for certain.
This shop right here. It looks like it sells guns.
Well, what do we...
Wait.
What?
There's a newspaper stand here.
So?
The newspaper, I think they're talking about Amanda's murderer.
Well, does it say anything?
It just says, murderer caught. Local homeless man Christopher Ryan Evans found standing over the body of local Amanda Cummings.
Wait, local man?
That's what it says.
That doesn't... So it wasn't Adam?
I don't know.
Does it say where he is?
No.
Well, that makes things interesting.
Well, Arthur, I still believe it makes sense to prepare ourselves, maybe even waiting until this store opens.
When could that be? I'm so tired of waiting.
Well, on the other hand, we could head to Amanda's.
Or
Or
we could seek out more information on this murderer.
How?
Well, we have his name. The town is fairly small. We could head to the library, maybe, or town hall, see if anyone could shed some light.
How do you suppose we do that without drawing questions from people?
We'll be a reporter, maybe just up from Arkham, trying to find out more about the murderer.
Not a terrible idea.
Look, whatever the case, something is amiss here. We have a murder, the victim, and the circumstances around it. We need to do more investigating.
You're right. It's your call. What do you want to do?
Let's just wait. So where to now?
Well, either we should head to Amanda's or find out more about this murderer, as you suggested.
Amanda's. We've put it off for long enough.
You're nervous about going.
I'm nervous about finding out what exactly is happening to me.
Don't worry. I'm sure this will only lead to more questions anyway.
Well, at least we are better equipped. Anyway, do you remember the address?
Yes. Head down this street to the main intersection.
So if they've caught the murderer, what does that mean?
It means they've caught the wrong person.
How?
That thing I saw was not a man. It was something else entirely.
But Amanda's body,
Yes?
it didn't look like it had been... Well, how did you put it? Like his fingers were bending into her flesh.
No.
So how did it look?
I don't know. Her neck looked bruised.
Like she had been choked.
Yes.
Could we have been tricked? Could we have seen...
No. What I saw was real. Maybe what others saw wasn't.
What do you mean?
I'm not sure yet, but we're here at the apartment building. It's a short brownstone with dark, weathered bricks. It faces the lake behind us. It's not run down, but it has seen better days.
Right. Which floor?
The third, I think.
All right.
All right. We're here. Locked.
Understandable.
What are you doing?
We are going to pick it.
Interesting.
I'm glad we waited for supplies. He said he gave us a way to force the lock, and I thought I felt... Yes, here.
You know how to do this,
Many times, friend.
friend.
There. There. Anybody watching?
No.
Perfect. Let's move. All right. Tell me what I see.
This is a small bachelor apartment. The short hallway from the door leads to a sitting room. There's a small radio on a glass table, and in the corner, a small bed. The window against the back is draped in dark green, and the carpet is weathered brown. This place makes me feel cold, Arthur. To the left of us is a kitchen, a small single table there, and to the right of us is a closet. The bathroom must be in the hallway outside.
Do you see anything of importance?
Not really. This tells the story of a simple, quiet life.
Anything about where she may have worked, or...
Nothing that jumps out. Though, is that what we're looking for?
No, not really. So where did she die exactly?
Where we entered. Right in the front hall.
All right, well, let's just grab this diary.
The bed is near the back. There.
All right, what does it say?
It's not a diary.
No?
No. It's just a book.
What book?
The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann.
Well,
Well. Have you read it?
no, I don't know anything about it.
Why did she leave it?
I don't know.
Why did she hide it?
I don't know.
Why did she...
I promise you, John, my answer will be I don't know.
Right.
Just let me think for a moment. Does this place look like it was tossed?
Not really, no.
Is there anything in the book?
Not... Wait.
What?
Yes! She's written something on the inside.
Brilliant.
It reads like this. I've seen the creature. Its long, hard body, straight as an arrow, yet moves like a serpent. I've watched it drive into the dark holes in the stone. The lives it takes are none the wiser as it screeches into the night. And then she's written 3 numbers, 31, 55, 78.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't know. Perhaps there's...
Wait,
What?
it's a riddle.
Well, what's the answer then?
It's a train.
A train.
Yes, the riddle, the long, hard body, straight as an arrow but moves like a serpent, it's...
A train.
Exactly.
All right then. So we find a train.
The station. She must mean for us to head there.
And you think it makes more sense to head there than to find out more about her killer?
She knew someone was following her. She knew enough to hide this for whomever is to follow. She not only feared for her life, but she wanted us to see something, or find something.
Right. Fair enough.
Let's head to the train station.
The numbers?
Must be a combination of sorts. Perhaps there are lockers there.
Right.
Let's move. What do you suppose she has in the locker?
Something that she wants us to find, or others like us.
Answers.
Most definitely.
Whatever she saw or experienced in that house all those years ago has stayed with her. She must have uncovered more about it. This is what must have prompted a lot of what has transpired.
How so?
The person who broke into Ackerman's bookshop back in Arkham, they were motivated to find the book.
Right.
So something started all of this, and I think Amanda knew as well. So this map, she hid it well.
Yes, she made efforts to hide the location and didn't offer any more as to our destination.
Meaning?
Meaning, why an island? What is there?
I don't know, but it's clearly important that we found it. I shudder to think what would have happened if whomever killed her found it first.
It's not impossible.
What do you mean?
We took the map. They may not have. They may have found the book, solved the riddle, come here, and...
Let's not think that many steps ahead. I think it's rather unlikely.
Agreed, but not impossible. It shows the docks and the lake. It's rather large.
Great. What's the name of the island? Did her map say?
No. Her map had the island hand-drawn, and this doesn't seem to show the island at all.
What? How?
What do you mean, how?
I just mean, why would they omit an island from the map here?
I don't know.
Is it possible that Amanda's wrong? Maybe there's nothing here. How far out is it anyway?
I don't know, Arthur. It could be an hour's ride by boat.
Wow, so the lake is very large then?
Yes.
Well. Look, there's no sense in second-guessing ourselves now. Amanda went through a lot of work to get that map to us.
Did she?
Well, yes. Well, to whomever came after her.
What if she wanted someone else to find it?
Look, we can't question every step of this. We're going to commit to seeing this thing through. We left Arkham to find Amanda in this map. This drawing that she left. It's the last piece of the puzzle. We need to head there, at the very least.
All right.
Let's go. Oh, it's a lighthouse.
Yes.
I wonder if it's on the island.
Her note didn't say anything about what the island had on it.
This is the culmination of our work. We finally arrived where Amanda has wanted us to.
You talk as if she intended to die.
No, I just mean this feels like the right direction. Forward. Still, why a graveyard? On an island, it just seems so...
Why isn't the fog touching this island?
Many questions, but Amanda wanted us to come here, so clearly...
We are in the right place.
Right. Let's head to the lighthouse. I'm looking for a friend of mine. She came here.
Ah, yes. I see now.
Yes? Has she been here recently?
Not for a few weeks, I think.
You never spoke with her?
No.
He seems nervous.
But you thought I was someone else when I was knocking.
I did. This place, it brings many souls.
You just said,
Not like you or me, no. The graveyard out there, it... At night, sometimes I think they knock. Eh? Maybe they don't.
yes. Something is wrong about this place, this island.
Besides the devil's graveyard and the widow's shack,
You know what I mean. This is a breeding ground for something sinister.
then maybe this is why Amanda was here, why she came.
Can you see anything down there?
The widow's house is just ahead. Breathe. Relax.
The illusion of safety.
At least we have that.
What are we seeing?
I couldn't get a good look from the outside, but this home, it's very old. The stonework on the floor is bizarre. Handmade, obviously. It looks like large, black, polished stone worn by shoes over time. They sit connected together haphazardly and somewhat uneven. The furnishing are all handmade. The table, the chair, both in the living room to our left. There's a large stone fireplace made of the same black stone. And beyond that, a small stove and kitchen.
Wow.
To our right, a small staircase looks to have collapsed, but the floor above looks sagging. It may be worthwhile to check, however. The walls are skinned logs, and there are a few unsettling paintings here.
Any sign of Amanda? Or where she may have been in here?
Yes, it does look used recently, and for lack of a better word, lived in. But it still maintains a lot of its, well, let's just say charm.
Well, it sounds like we could try getting near the second floor, or start on this one. Remember, we're looking for everything we can to find out why she was here.
Right. So, where would you like to start? The second floor or this one? It definitely looks lived in. Things are moved around.
When you say lived in, what do you mean?
I mean that someone in the past century has occupied this space. Whether it was for an afternoon or a week, I'm not sure.
So we know Amanda came here, and we have to assume that it was for a fair amount of time.
Do we have to assume that?
I just mean it makes the most sense based on her apartment seemingly devoid of anything, and the time it took to get here to the island.
Fair.
You don't see anything of importance.
Difficult to tell. There are some books.
Anything?
No, nothing that seems relevant.
All right. I guess we should check the kitchen.
Yes, it's just beside the living room. I suppose the widow didn't need much space.
You mentioned that there were paintings on the wall. Anything interesting?
Yes. There's one that looks quite grotesque. Time and a fair amount of dampness have bloated a portrait of a young lady. Her hollow eyes are sagging, and her face looks as though the skin hangs off in loose strands. It's unsettling.
Oh, the widow?
Perhaps.
I shudder to think what she would look like now.
The kitchen has a few cans, locally bought beans, corn.
So she ate here, and most likely slept as well.
Now, I would agree with your previous thought about her spending a fair amount of time here.
It's so... What did she...
Wait,
What?
a note.
Where?
It's on the kitchen table. It's obscured by a can, or maybe it was held down, but it's left out in the open.
What does it say?
To whom it may concern, my name is Amanda Cummings. However, since I was young, I've always gone by my middle name, Sarah.
Sarah?
I suppose so.
I guess the paper did print Amanda, but when we spoke to her neighbor...
We never mentioned her name, just asked about the Cummings daughter.
Right. Keep reading.
If you are reading this, I desperately hope that this is who I expect it to be, my old friend, A. If not, then I pray that you are a friend, or at the very least a soul who aims to stand against the evil that leaks into our world. If not, please, I beg you, put this letter down and leave.
It sounds like we are not who she expected to be following.
Are we even the latter?
Yes, John, we are.
Who do you suppose is A?
Maybe the letter will clarify.
She addresses A directly in this next paragraph. A, we were wrong about what this is, what exited that gateway all those years ago. I dare not share the name here, but I know this. It is madness he seeks. He intends to drive the world mad, but what is more, it is through this madness in which he controls people. From what I have read, he strains one's sanity, making them question their reality, questioning those around them until their minds are ready to break. Then, in this state, he can influence you through whispers and tales. What is more, I have seen it now. I leave this letter for you, and the location hidden because I have seen his eyes in the head of others. While in town, a man approached me smiling, saying my name, calling me Amanda for some reason. It felt foreign on his tongue, as if he said it for the first time. I don't know how he's found me, but nowhere is safe. Find a safe corner, keep your head down. He can already easily grasp the minds of those that are weak. But once he finds me, he will weaken the entire town and turn them upon me. His influence is great, and... I don't know if you're the one reading this, but if you are, stay safe. Stay out of sight, and stay away from people. Watch for his sign. That's the letter. She signed it Sarah, and then she's drawn a symbol on the bottom of the note.
The one on the book?
No. This one is different. We haven't seen it before.
Are you all right?
Yes.
Well, so she has a friend named A. She expected to be here instead of us.
Yes.
But most incredible is, well, what she said about the thing's ability to control people. Immediately, I think of Kellen. I wonder now if the voice that he heard in his head was this.
Yes.
John.
Who?
John, are you okay?
Who's John?
What are you talking about? You asked me to call you John.
Right.
Do you not want that anymore?
No, I do. Yes, John. Yes, Kellen certainly was someone who seemed to be in a state able to be influenced.
Right. In fact, now that I think about it, the old woman who gave us the baby in the woods, the lady in the wheelchair at Sarah's apartment, they all seemed a bit...
off.
Yes. It does sound like we're being hunted.
Well then.
Right. Wait, no, nothing in this letter is particularly dangerous.
What do you mean?
For someone who went through a lot of trouble to hide this location, doesn't it seem odd to still hide a name and information in this letter?
So
why was she here, of all places?
To hide out. We read it. This man can influence others around him.
No, something doesn't add up. There's more here. If this was the destination, then there was a reason for it. And where did she learn all this information from anyway, about this thing and how it acts? I think this is, well, useful. Only enough information to stop a pursuer from looking any further. I think we've only just broken the surface of this frozen lake.
You think she hit this location because it holds another secret?
Very. And what's more, I think she wants her friend to find it.
How?
I don't know. Sometimes there can be hidden messages in the note with... Well, I don't know, maybe hold it up to the lantern light. Anything?
Nothing I can see.
Is there anything that stands out in the letter? Anything seemingly out of place? Anything spaced oddly? Does it seem to be written plainly? What about the symbol? Maybe look closely
The symbol
at that.
looks normal, Arthur.
Look, we're trying to find out more about this place, and our path has steadily led us here, so work with me.
She has used capital letters oddly in 2 places.
Where?
Near the end, she wrote, "Find a safe corner, keep your head down," but she put corner and down in all capitals. It did seem a bit odd.
Corner. Down. Where are the corners of this room?
I don't even know how to answer.
I mean to say, is this a square room?
Mostly. The stairs hide a bit of the shape.
Just walk the room. Let's focus on looking at the corners.
All right. The corner near the fireplace seems normal. The kitchen, too. There's a corner underneath the back of the stairs, but it's... Wait,
What?
there is something here.
I knew it.
There's a large dresser dragged here. I can see the marks on the ground where it's been moved often.
Let's move it then, shall we? This?
Yes. Well, Arthur. There is a hatch in the floor.
Brilliant.
Well,
Corner down.
corner down. Arthur, it's a dark stone-walled passageway.
To a cellar.
It looks more like a cave.
A cave.
There's a ladder on the wall.
Well, this is clearly where Amanda had spent most of her time, so this is where we need to head. Once more into the abyss, John.
Once more, friend.
John,
Arthur.
something is down here with us.
Yes.
Amanda traveled through here. She...
Had the safety of the lighthouse keeping everything at bay.
Right, let's just keep moving, quietly. Is there anything here, anything of importance?
Symbols.
Which?
There is the symbol that was on my book. It's carved into the wall here.
On the wall? How is it?
This place is more ornate, almost ceremonial.
What the hell is going on here? Does this area look used?
Not for a while, I think.
What do we do?
We keep moving, low and slow, and we find what Amanda uncovered. This looks like it might be a dead end.
Just a dead end? There isn't...
Wait, no.
What?
Well, this is a dead end, but the dirt here is soft, as if something had been buried recently.
Or something had been recently unearthed.
Arthur, this looks like a nest. We need to leave, now.
So, when the lighthouse died...
Whatever was buried must have awoken.
The widow, we think, right?
Perhaps. I have no idea what this cult worshipped, let alone their burial practices. Suffice to say, this is not where Amanda was spending her time. I think it's safe to lock the door this time. I think this is where Amanda was.
Oh, what room is it?
A library. There's a table here with books on it. It's clear this room has been recently used. There's even a bedroll in the corner.
She slept down here.
Move to the table. Let's look there first.
Right.
The table has a number of volumes laid out. Most of them seem to be translation-based, but there are 2 right in front of where she sat. One has the symbol that was on the bottom of her note. The other has the symbol on the book that I came from.
What? Is it the same one?
The book looks different, less worn for one.
Well, this could answer so many questions about you and where you came from. I mean, on the other hand...
What other hand, Arthur? This is why we came here. All of this is for finding out why I am attached to you.
Yes, but she didn't draw your symbol on the bottom of the note. And she alluded to being wrong.
It doesn't matter, Arthur.
It might. Who knows how much time we have here before...
Arthur, read the book with my symbol on it.
Look, I don't care what you think. Amanda drew that symbol in the bottom of her letter, which means at the very least it's what she came to learn about, and that is why we are here.
We're here for answers about my book, the one you left back on the road a month ago, remember?
Now listen to me. I have much more to lose if we don't find a way to separate us. Now let's look at that book.
As I said, it looks similar to the other one. Its binding is slightly darker. The pages within seem to be a bit less uniform in their size. The texture on the top and the bottom seems a little more haphazard.
What do you mean?
Comparatively, this book seems less professional. As odd as that sounds to say about books of this nature.
Right, and what of the symbol? What does it actually look like?
It's very difficult to explain, but the symbol somewhat resembles a coiled body or serpentine lines, with two others twisting and turning upwards.
Interesting.
Yes, they're almost like... It's as if two tentacles were branching upward.
Tentacles?
Yes, like that of an octopus.
And you've never seen this symbol before?
Not that I recall.
Not even in the dark world?
I've been pleasantly forgetting about that place.
You described it so vividly when we first met.
Yes, Arthur, but I'm thankful to say that for whatever reason it seems to slip through my mind now. I don't know whether it's being in this world once again, or...
Once again?
Yes, once again. I just mean to say that part of me feels like I was alive once before.
Really?
Yes, I assume that was obvious to you.
I don't know, John. There's still a lot we don't know.
Well, perhaps this book will provide the first of many answers that we will receive.
Right.
This book is written in the same language as the other.
You read the language, though. You read the other book, didn't you?
I could, but not make sense of it.
Well, how does that add up?
I don't have an easy answer for you, Arthur. Suffice to say that I can read this without understanding what it means.
Well, then there's no sense in trying to read it here.
Luckily, we don't have to. It looks like Amanda has made some notes here.
Brilliant. What does it say?
She talks about certain passages, outlines a few of them here in her notes. She hasn't written in the book, but slotted pieces of paper folded within. A few of the larger sections seem to be summarized, points that she's uncovered.
Does any of it seem important?
She writes here about a mask. A pallid mask.
A pallid mask?
Yes. She's directly translated something here. Song of my soul, my voice is dead. Die thou, unsung as tears unshed.
Oh, it sounds like poetry of some sort.
She's also drawn the sign again under this page and underlined something.
What did she underline?
The King in Yellow.
John? John, are you okay? John? John! John, what the fuck? John!
Arthur, this is a huge room. A temple of sorts. A place of worship. There's an altar and a stone floor raised slightly to give an elevated feel to the circle around the center of this room. The walls are all dark stone. Sconces sit above piles of melted wax. Ceremonies of some sort were performed here. Blood stains the stone slab in the center of the room, and there are at least 2 passageways out.
God.
I can't really tell what... Oh my God.
What?
The ceiling. There was a massive sculpted image of a creature, like the one we saw in the house back in Arkham.
Shobnigrath.
Yes. They've used the stalactites as trees, almost, and carved his visage into the stonework above. It's unnerving, to say the least.
Jesus. We need to read this.
The letter.
Yes, we need to understand what Amanda found exactly. Her note upstairs was vague at best. I understand now that she wanted to protect all of this from getting out, from getting into the wrong hands, but we need context, and it's clear that she spent a lot of time down here before
the widow woke.
Before she died. All right, what does it say?
My dear friend Anna, I miss you. I hope things are well with you. I don't know if you'll come find me. This letter may go unread for centuries. Perhaps it will never be found. Buried within the rock and stone beneath the island, in the library I now write this from. Or perhaps I will return, grab the letter myself, and find the answers I know we both desperately seek. Perhaps I'm being too dire. As I'm sure you must be able to understand, I never left that basement. The events that happened 10 years ago, the stone slabs, the cavernous walls, Antoine's final plan, the portal, and Henry's sacrifice, all of it stayed with me. I've carried it for these 10 years. I thought coming here to Harper's Hill would give me the tools to start again, and maybe it would have, had I not seen him. Antoine. Not alive, but in a photo. He was the same, like he hadn't aged a day, and yet the photo I saw in the book, called A History of Harper's Hill, was from almost 100 years ago. He was the lighthouse keeper. I knew I couldn't run from this anymore. I mean, this man, this monster who ruined our lives, who ruined Emily's life. He was staring back at me from the pages of a book. I sought to find the island, and discovered what was beneath it, this cavernous hideout. I spent weeks poring over rooms, over pages, texts, diaries, to form what I think brought Antoine here. The promise to a dying master of his from far too long ago, to summon Shub-Niggurath and bring about the end of the world. A task that could only be completed by finding those who were connected by blood to those who first started the ceremony 600 years prior. Obviously, as you and I know, it failed. But something didn't add up. I didn't understand how he fit into the story. Not Antoine, or the creature that Henry killed, the abomination that Antoine tried to bring to this world. No, the one that came out of the gateway after. You know who I'm talking about. The one who wore yellow. With Antoine's story tied to a neat bow, I looked through other texts that he had here, other tomes that seemed to reveal more of this other world, and then I found it. The King in Yellow. The King has nothing to do with Antoine, Anna, nor his plans. He simply used the portal because it was there. An opportunist who chose to enter our world. It sent a chill up my spine. Then I saw his eyes in town. I don't know how, but he found me. He is active still. I knew that it was only a matter of time, so I learned all that I could. Anna, this temple is not dedicated to him. It is here to serve Antoine's machinations, to fulfill his original goal in summoning Shub-Niggurath. He spent hundreds of years between here and the lighthouse, waiting. But all of that had ended now. The King in Yellow is the real threat, and he seeks to find me. There is an order that may still exist, those who worship the King in a town north of here called Leary. You and I were young, or younger. I understand why we didn't see the form that emerged as something different, but he is here, and he will find you just as he found me. The only two who know he exists in the world. Good luck, Anna. May you find answers in Leary. Your friend, Sarah.
So these girls were the ones in the house. This Antoine was the original owner, or the one who conducted whatever ceremony transpired in that secret basement. He opened a gateway for Shub-Niggurath.
But something else came out of the portal before it closed.
You killed my partner.
I did. Yes.
And now you want to work together again.
I just want to bask for a moment in the realization that, should these police bring you to jail, the King in Yellow will have his pick of the litter. Your bunkmate, the guards watching you, all of them can be infected by him, driven mad until they do his bidding. Just like Amanda said. Imagine not only being trapped in a cell for the rest of your days, but trapped in a cell with a mad king able to enter your dreams.
But I think maybe you were right. I think it was the other officer. Part of me doesn't want to believe the King in Yellow can influence someone so quickly and so potently, but being optimistic isn't a risk we can afford to take anymore. We are being followed, hunted even. Why, I don't know.
Amanda knew something she shouldn't have. And now...
Now we know it too.
Maybe it's that simple.
Maybe. Let's just take a moment. The day seems warm and the sand is soft. Let's just take stock of what we found.
Agreed.
Good. So, let's start with the letter to Anna from Sarah, Amanda. We haven't had time to really absorb it.
Time to use that investigative brain of yours.
Exactly. So, what were the details again?
There were names. Antoine, Henry, Emily, Anna, obviously.
Emily.
Yes.
Why is that name familiar?
Emily was a girl that went missing, remember? The one that
led us to the house that started all of this.
Yes.
Right, the basement with the secret chamber. The stone slabs and the gateway are what we perceived as the gateway. That wall had a mural painted on it of a monstrous creature. The one that you said was Shub-Niggurath.
However, that is not behind all of this.
Right. Emily's last name was McFarland, right?
That's what the file said, yes. And you said that she was found in a field.
Right.
Dismembered.
Near the house on Pelican Lane, which led my partner and I there. I remember that you were very upset by her death.
Was I?
Yes, you got very heated with me, remember?
Well, I'm not sure why. Anyway, yes, the second paragraph reads, I never left that basement. The events that happened 10 years ago, the stone slabs, the cavernous walls, Antoine's final plan, the portal and Henry's sacrifice, all of it stayed with me.
Yes, we deduced that this was the house, the one we went to. Whoever this Henry is, he's the only other male mentioned. He sacrificed himself for them, presumably.
She goes on to mention that she saw Antoine in a photograph that led her to the island. All of this seems to be around Antoine and perhaps this Henry character.
The one who sacrificed himself.
Yes, maybe he was a cultist who had a change of heart. I don't know. But whatever happened, it failed. Shub-Niggurath did not come forth and the girls were free. Except
for the part where they were wrong, she says.
She wrote how he fit into this story.
He being the King in Yellow. She said something about him coming in after.
Yes, it says, the one who came out of the gateway after. You know who I'm talking about. The one who wore yellow.
So this Antoine opened a gateway for Shub-Niggurath to enter. Henry foils his plan, and in the end, something else comes through.
Something that has nothing to do with any of them. She says very clearly, he simply used the portal because it was there.
So the girls see this thing, and he leaves them alone? Until now? Something is missing.
They must have done something to stave him off. Something to end him, to trap him, to...
Well, how do you stop a creature like this? A being that seemingly can possess the insane and drive those with weak-willed minds mad. Mad enough to inhabit.
Wait.
What?
There was something. We read something. Maybe in her first letter. No, it's not here.
What?
I don't... Oh, it was written in the margin of one of the books we grabbed.
John, be careful. Last time you read from that, you went somewhere else.
It's fine. I just want to look at it. Yes. Here, in the margin. She translated, "Song of my soul, my voice is dead. Die thou unsung as tears unshed."
Should that mean anything to me?
I don't know, but above it she's mentioned a pallid mask.
And?
A pallid mask, Arthur. Don't you recall?
No, we haven't really even... Wait.
Yes.
The bookshop back in Arkham.
Exactly. My fractured soul has become entangled in yours. I'll simply kill you and reclaim it.
You can't. Not here. You hold no power here. If this piece of you, John, isn't going to play along, then you're stuck. That's why you've been whispering into people's minds. That's why you've had others kill Amanda and attack us. You can't be in this plane of reality, whatever you want to call it. You're trapped in your dreamlands, and there's no way you're getting out.
You're correct. I entered in through a portal that was opened by others. It was a powerful ritual, though not one meant for me. It was opportunity. When I took it, I found that there were men fighting on the other side, and a few women as well. The ritual having just taken place.
Anything yet?
No. Keep waiting. I was using it as a chance to enter the world, properly, whole. But something went wrong. One of the people there, a woman, grabbed a book, one used to house another being entirely, shoving it off, and she tried to trap me inside it. Only part of me was bound to it, however. Half my soul was trapped here in the dreamlands, half bound in that book.
And the dark world.
It was where I stayed until you opened the book and cursed yourself. I think we're safe. Nothing has stirred in a while. The yellow sign.
The yellow sign?
Yes, it's his. It's my symbol.
That's why Amanda wrote it on the bottom of the letter. This book has information about you. We need to read it.
Except he's pointing at the other book.
The other one?
Yes, the one with the symbol of Shub-Niggurath.
That's why they're helping?
I suppose so.
The tooth. The Vanguard. It spoke to us last night, just as I was falling asleep.
What did it say?
It said Anna Stanzik.
Anna Stanzik.
Yes! We asked it who Anna was in the letter that Amanda had written.
Well, that didn't give us all that much.
Stanzik. You don't remember?
I don't.
The house. In the wood. After our accident and the baby.
The baby.
God bless this baby Stanzik?
The Wraith.
Yes!
Wait. The name we got from the birth certificate was a child, Eric.
Exactly. This family is part of all of this.
How?
I don't know. But that letter we read, the names, the places, it's all starting to form a web. A puzzle being put together to form a dark and detailed picture. Of what I don't know.
Okay. So then Anna Stanzik was the girl Amanda wrote to. The king killed Amanda back in Harper's Hill.
Yes.
Do we think Anna is still alive?
If it took the king this long to track down Amanda, maybe. Remember, these were the two girls that left that abandoned house we investigated back in Arkham, the one with the cavern hidden behind the wall and the gateway.
Yes, I remember.
If they've stayed alive this long...
We found Amanda Sarah's name from the newspaper clippings at the library. I wonder why they removed Anna's name. They only said Amanda Cummings and another girl.
I don't know. She grew up in the mansion in the woods. The one with the wraith, she must have lived a terribly complicated life.
Yes.
I nearly forgot about the Vanguard.
Arthur, I told you previously, this is not a power to play with. Nothing of value can be...
But it's already told us something valuable.
To whom? It told us who Amanda spoke with.
Yes, and the next person we will be seeking as soon as we get home.
How so?
Don't you understand? This girl, Anna Stanzik, she's our hope. We sought Amanda for answers, but she passed away before we could speak with her.
Arthur.
Anna can help us. Once we're back, we...
Arthur.
What?
Are you sure that's wise?
What do you mean? Of course, she's going to help us.
How do you know that?
I know that because Amanda would have helped us. She never escaped this. She...
Died because of us.
She did not. She died because of the King in Yellow.
Except he only learned about her through you. Remember?
What? No.
While you were in a coma, he tricked you into telling him about her.
No, that's not... That's not it.
Yes, it is, Arthur. You keep putting this unfounded hope onto the shoulders of these people. You don't know what you're doing.
I'm trying to save us.
You're trying to save you. If finding Anna brings about her death too, are you able to accept that?
The King killed Amanda.
All right, Arthur. Ask your question. Seek your answers. Find Anna and risk another life. But don't pretend another death wouldn't be on our shoulders.
I suppose you're right. At this point, as much as answers would be beneficial, it's not worth the risk. Plus, I don't actually have anything extremely pressing on my mind. Everything is still sort of ruminating.
Thank you, Arthur.
I'm not doing it for you. Look, I'm just saying that if we get out of here somewhat unscathed, then I suppose we have some time to figure out what the next step is. That includes finding a way to separate us.
How?
Well, before the Dreamlands, before all of this, we followed Amanda Cummings to Harper's Hill. She was Roland's daughter.
The detective, who we think my book was originally meant to be sent to, from the rare bookstore.
Yes, J.D. Ackerman, the bookseller. We think he meant to send your book to Roland.
Right.
Anyway, we followed that lead to an island off the coast of Harper's Hill, where we found a letter written by Amanda to Anna. And after asking the Tooth, the seer, we found it was Anna Stanzik. Both of them knew a lot about this world, its teaching, and I think they were also in the house back in Arkham.
But Amanda's dead.
Yes, but she wrote those letters to Anna as if she was expecting her to follow. It revealed all about the King in Yellow and more.
So we need to find Anna Stanzik. You think she's the next piece of this puzzle?
Yes.
And where do you suppose we start? After we leave the Dreamlands, I mean.
Anna Stanzik and her family. We were in that mansion back in the woods near Arkham. Just north of it, remember? Where we brought the baby. We were there, we didn't even realize it.
Well, she's no longer there.
No, of course not. The mansion was long abandoned, but we didn't think to look around for a sign of where she went. She was nobody to us at that point. We were only looking to get the baby back and leave that godforsaken place.
So, if we get back...
If we get back, we return to the mansion, scope out clues, and try to find the place she could have gone to. And what of Anna Stanzik?
Yes, Anna.
She was one of the 2 survivors that came from that house in Arkham.
The one that held my book.
We know that the king took advantage of that moment in time, in Sarah's letter. That cult...
Run by Antoine.
Yes, we know that problem sorted itself out. But whatever gateway they opened that night 10 years ago let the king try and enter our world. That's what splintered you and he. What trapped part of you in the book I opened. The one that Emily died for.
Yes, I told you, Arthur, during our time in the prison pits
Yes, I know. Look, we've both made mistakes. The important thing is moving forward. Speaking of...
We're just passing 3rd Avenue.
Okay. Just keep an eye out for a hotel.
Sure.
Our path towards Sarah and Anna would find a reason for this book, an answer to separating us.
Correct. But at the moment, I don't think that's our priority.
No, but... we could be doing something about it.
How so?
The Vanguard.
The Vanguard? Arthur!
The Tooth. We still have it.
Arthur, I told you. This is possessed by a creature from the dark world. It is a conduit. It has 1 foot in each plane.
Yes, I remember,
It
but...
is exactly the thing that someone like Larson would covet. If he knew we had it, it will corrupt you, Arthur.
More than I already have been. Look, the Vanguard was the one who told us about the connection between Anna Stanzik and this whole web of questions.
How?
Remember, our first foray out of Arkham, we came across a car by the side of the road. We followed it to find a woman in the woods holding the baby.
A baby she gave to us.
Yes. Then in the mansion, the Wraith.
God bless this baby Stance.
Yes, it wasn't actually her baby. We said that to trick it, but the name of those who lived in that mansion, including the Wraith...
We're the same. But what does that mean? What does it matter?
What does it matter?
We know how I got trapped in the book. We know why. Which boils down to bad luck and timing on the king's part. We know that Emily and Amanda died and that Anna escaped. She's free of this. She doesn't need this anymore, don't you remember?
Yes, I remember, but...
Seeking her could kill her.
Look, 2 things have come up since then. The first being the symbol that was drawn in ash on the baby. You said it was for the Order of the Fallen Star.
The letter is still here.
What letter?
To A.
To Anna.
Dear A, why did you kill me? You led him straight to me. I was safe in Harper's Hill, and yet you told him. You told him about me. For years I had run and hid, and in a moment all that was gone. All that was shattered because of you, because of what you did. How could you do this, A? Why are you risking everything? Leave Anna alone. Stop trying to pursue her. You're only going to get her killed just like you killed Farrow. Just like you killed Bella.
I didn't kill Bella. She died giving birth.
Did she?
Of course she fucking did.
And where were you?
What?
And where were you? The wheelchair, Arthur. It's right where we found it.
Wheelchair?
God bless this baby Stanzik. God bless this baby Stanzik.
I didn't kill this one.
What?
You, Uncle, The widow, Sarah. But not this one. This one I saved.
You've lived quite the life.
What? What did you...
Can I ask you something?
Sure?
Where on earth did you get this?
Oh, well, there's a town called Harper's Hill, near Arkham. I found myself there looking for someone who had answers.
Answers about what?
Well, another book, actually, funnily enough.
My book.
Did you find answers?
Not exactly. Well, somewhat. But I tracked someone who would be able to help me to an island off the town's lake. And in the caves beneath the island, I found that book. And another.
Well, it's quite the read.
Yes, I found it to be a bestiary of sorts.
Yes, I suppose so. It's quite old as well, perhaps from that era.
Really? I didn't realize.
Yes, well, look at it. I mean, you don't see books like this anymore. It's quite evident how old it is.
Yes, well, I missed that, I suppose.
It's an old book, Arthur. Hardly a notable fact.
It's by far the oldest book I've ever seen. It could, I don't know, maybe be 9th or 10th century.
Antoine. That was who Amanda Cummings was.
He was who Anastasia is.
Every time you pronounce that name. Yes, right. The big picture is that these boys, these 3 soldiers, well, they didn't find the stone. See? And well, that's a problem. For me.